Everybody, it's the Black Menaces. We're here helping to literally create a safe space at Back to School Pride Night because there are people behind us who are full of hate, full of anger, and wanting to protest child grooming, which is not happening here. Has nothing to do with this at all.
People are crying. This is ridiculous.
Right. It's sad that in 2022 people still can't have a safe space. Utah is a dangerous place for queer people, for black people, for marginalized people, and we're doing our best to help.
All right, guys, so once again, we got to talk about a Christian school catching woke backlash for trying to be a Christian school, okay, by trying to live up to and adhere to the principles of the Bible, of their religious text, right? Which, again, the school is a religious school, okay? It is a private school, but they're catching backlash because they're not being inclusive enough of LGBTQ students, which is something that this school has a history of, okay? There's a history of protest from LGBTQ students over certain policies at the school, including a policy that you can't be openly gay, right? Or openly, in a same-sex relationship. Policies like that, they have protested in the past.
It's got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Homophobia's 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 got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho.
LGBTQ students at BYU New York City stands with you. We're standing. We love you.
Yeah, so as you can see there, BYU has had a history of these types of protests, and nobody should be surprised to hear the homophobia card being pulled again on BYU, as they just had the race card pulled on them by a female Duke volleyball player and her race hustling godmother, whom claimed that somebody in the BYU student section called her an N-word. Now, all the evidence suggested that this was not true, right, and that this was made up. But again, the university has now been smeared as racist, okay? It was only a amount of time before the homophobia bigotry card comes back up as well too, because you know how this stuff goes. And this is just another story about what Christian schools and Christian institutions have to go through. They can't follow their own religion, okay? Unlike other religions like Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, whatever, all these other religions, they can freely follow whatever their religion says, okay? And nobody bothers them and says, hey, you need to be more inclusive of other people. Only Christians have to do that. Or you're a bigot, right? Or you're a bigot. And that is what you're saying here with what has happened with BYU in the hit pieces that is now coming out about them simply trying to adhere to their religious beliefs. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out some of my new merch, my donkey pox shirts, the disease that's infecting America, or my hashtag no days off / hard work patriotic t-shirts, or my MAGA hub shirts. There are plenty of cool merch for you guys to check out at my website, gforemanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code gforemanbcp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. As BYU is catching backlash for removing LGBTQ plus resource pamphlets for incoming freshmen. And allegedly, some of the pamphlets were thrown in the trash. So some students got this pamphlet and they trashed it, right? Allegedly, which probably pissed a lot of people off. So let's read about this. Brigham Young University confirmed it pulled hundreds of LGBTQ plus resource pamphlets from orientation bags provided to incoming freshmen this semester. The pamphlet entitled Allyship and Activism Resource Guide LGBTQ plus edition was created by the off-campus LGBTQ plus support group Rainbow Collective and was approved by the student newspaper, the Daily Universe, as well as multiple professors, according to a report in the Salt Lake Tribune. The pamphlet included information on counseling, scholarships, and resource advisors. Rainbow Collective paid $200 in printing charges to the Universe, which was subsequently refunded by the newspaper. Some of the pamphlets were already thrown into the trash. Quote, "This decision is disappointing and disheartening, especially when we consider our experiences as freshmen feeling lonely, isolated, and unsupported as queer students." Rainbow Collective posted to Twitter, quote, "Unfortunately, it follows a consistent pattern of BYU breaking its promises and agreements with LGBTQ plus students." All right. So let's talk about this. First and foremost, this pamphlet was included by an off-campus group. I think the university has the right to say, hey, we don't want materials in our pamphlets that come from groups that are off campus. Now, again, do I know whether or not they typically allow that? Right? I have no clue. Okay. Would they allow that from a non-LGBTQ source? I don't know. They probably would. I'm not sure. However, regardless of that, this is a Christian school. And if they don't want LGBTQ stuff in their welcome pamphlets, they can say, hey, we don't want it, right? We're a private Christian school. We're trying to adhere to a certain set of values here. And LGBTQ is just simply not one of those values. I mean, it is in opposition to what is in the Bible, which is the book that this university tries to adhere to. It is what it is, man. I don't understand the outrage that happens when schools do this. If you don't like it, go to another school. There are plenty of universities that you can go to, okay, that will accommodate you and your lifestyle. But you can't force your lifestyle on a Christian university. You can't do it, right? This is why we have the free market. This is why we have choice. There's some schools that are going to be cool with it. There's some schools that are not. Go to a school that's going to be cool with it. Instead, you have people complaining about how BYU doesn't love queer students. They don't support us. Well, look, in the Bible, the book that they follow, again, they're not supposed to be supportive of that stuff, right? Again, you can't blame them. You only can blame yourself because you chose to go to this school. Quote, the heartbreaking part is that this is the LGBTQ plus student experience being at BYU. Madison Tenney, the founder of Rainbow Collective, told the Tribune, you have this beautiful community and you love the school so much and they just don't love you back. Again, go to another school. Go to another school that's going to love you the way you want to be loved, right? I'm just saying it's really simple. Go to University of Utah. BYU spokesperson Carrie Jenkins admitted to the Tribune the school pulled the pamphlet, saying administrators were not aware it was included in the bags and that the pamphlet was ultimately pulled because it came from an outside group. According to Jenkins, BYU provides, quote, support through the Office of Belonging and our counseling services rather than allowing, quote, outside entities to apply affiliation with or endorsement from the university. Yeah. So BYU is saying, look, we have an office where, you know, people who adhere to this lifestyle can go and, you know, get whatever type of help or services they need, right? But we're not going to allow an outside group to be affiliated with this university, okay? Especially a group that endorses a lifestyle that this university does not endorse. Jenkins went on to say the school will review the approval process with the newspaper. This is not the first time BYU has created controversy with its policies and campus climate for LGBTQ plus students. Last year, LGBTQ plus students lit up in rainbow colors the school's famous Y that overlooks the school. Yeah. So they've been protesting for a while here. Last year, a student was expelled after he used anti-gay epithets while erasing LGBT artwork from a sidewalk outside of school. Earlier this year, BYU received a religious exemption for its anti-LGBTQ policies from the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights, dismissing a complaint that alleged BYU violated federal law by discriminating against LGBTQ plus students. Yeah. Basically, BYU is saying we're a private school. We have religious principles. Therefore, we exempt from your little civil rights complaint, okay? We're exempt from that because we are a religious school. Okay, we are private. We don't have to adhere to this stuff. If you don't like it, go to another school. It's really that simple. It's really that simple, man. You can't be mad at BYU for simply trying to live up to its policies and principles. Again, you never hear stories like this that involve Muslims or other people, other religions, because it's not expected for those religions to accommodate everybody. It's not expected for those religions to be inclusive. The only religion that is expected to be inclusive of everybody is Christianity. That's it. Okay, and I think that's kind of an unfair burden. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.